This one comes from a recommendation, and maybe a misunderstood one at that. Somebody suggested Debbie Harry's music that helped break hip-hop through, and I naturally went for her first solo album, not the Blondie album from the previous year with the track Rapture. Rapture was the first hip-hop song by any artist to reach #1 on Billboard's Hot 100, so I'll probably have to circle back and check out that Blondie album. Regardless, you can hear that hip-hop and funk DNA all over her solo album. And since hip-hop was sampling funk, it would be easy just to dismiss it and say these songs were funk influenced. But Debbie herself credited the late 70s New York scene and her friendship with Fab Freddy 5 for those influences on Rapture. So it'd be safe to assume they were the same here, given they were both released a year apart. The album was also produced by Nile, Rodgers, and Bernard Edwards of Chic, who became known for the mix of dance, funk, and rock you hear on this album. The track Inner City Spillover caught me a little by surprise with its reggae sound. It wasn't my favorite track on the album, but it was still well done. In probably the most positive review I found for this album, this track was still to stand out as awkward, and that is honestly probably a pretty accurate take on it. Then Backfired oddly reminds me a little of Red Hot Chili Peppers, but with sultry female vocals. You know the song off the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack? Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Love Roller Coaster, with that insane cartoon video. They're definitely very different songs, but the guitar part and the female vocals sort of give it a similar vibe.
Backfired. Your plan.
This album was thrashed critically, with Washington Post calling it a dismal album. The reviews that I found that could even feign positivity do so for its audacity to be different. Disco backlash was already in full force, and leaning on Rodgers and Edwards only helped to push this in that critically panned direction. Time has been a little kinder to this album, and there are some revisionist reviews that speak kindly of it, even if for the most part, die-hard Debbie Harry fans still view it poorly. At the end of the day, I did like the album. It was fun with some catchy bits. It's a solid 3-star album. So I'm curious, what's an album that was critically panned that you think deserves another shot?